I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Miles Monroe. He passed away several years ago.
Yeah.
But you know, we admire a lot of things he said. He had a message about money. Mm-hmm. I want to see if you agree with him, though. Okay. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Listen carefully. We've been taught in religion that the devil is the enemy. We've been taught in religion that the devil is the one who wants to master you. Jesus disagrees. He said there are only two masters on earth that controls man, and he never mentions the devil. There's something more dangerous than the devil, he says, and it's money. What wakes you up in the morning? God or the job? Are you so busy to get to work you never pray in the morning? Ain't got time for God. I gotta catch the traffic. God or money? Do you know that God never says that Satan is the root of all evil? The devil is a joke compared to money. The love of money. Not money, the love of it. Two jobs, sell your body. The love of money is the root. What motivates you? Is it God or money? You can't do both, he says. Either love the one or hate the other. So according to Jesus, his conclusion was that every action of all mankind is motivated by either the pursuit of money or service to God. That's it. God is not against money, but God is against you serving money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think that money is more powerful or more of an enemy to us than Satan?
Yeah, I do. I do, because we always talk about how Satan has a bark, but he doesn't have a bite. You know what I'm saying? We always say, oh, his bark is bigger than his bite. And then I see a lot of pastors, and I've watched this a lot lately, a lot of pastors discredit the devil to say that he has any type of power whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And we look at it like we fear like spiritual warfare. We fear evil and dark places and principalities and all these different things that we wrestle against. And so I feel like yeah, if you start connecting the dots to what money has done, then yeah, I would definitely say I could see that being.
I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him. I love Dr. Miles Monroe, but I think he's framing it wrong. So
okay,
I actually went and found the verse that he's referring to. Right.
Okay.
So this chapter, I'm gonna go into it. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish, harmful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil, for which some have strayed from the faith in their greediness and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Now, the all kinds of evil was like a little addition. Some say is the root of all evil. Some say root of all kinds of evil. I think it's important for us to figure out which one that is, because that means a lot, right? Yeah. Because for us to say that it's you can only serve one master, and it says you can serve God or money. I don't know if it meant that's the only other master there is.
Well,
I think it's just saying that if money is an issue for you, if you have a love for money, you can either serve that desire or you could serve your love for God. If your love is for sex, you could either serve that desire or your love for God. I don't know if it was exclusive money or God is the only problems you have in your life.
Well, when he said that, I heard something a little different. I heard money leads to evil, meaning money buys guns, money buys drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the evil things that come out of the love of money or having money.
Right.
So to me, that's where my mind first went to.
But what I understand is Satan is behind all of that too. It's not like it's Satan or money, or it's Satan is he desires for you to desire that. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he's not involved in all of that stuff.
Right. But I was thinking back along the conversations that we had with a recent guest, right? And we talked about shooting up the church in Charlotte. Or in
Charleston.
Charleston. And in Charleston. And it was like, okay, you could sit there and be thinking in your mind, I want to kill all these people, right? But you wouldn't be able to do that without that weapon. You wouldn't have been able to pull out that weapon without
Are you
the
saying
money.
that his love for money is why he did that?
No. I'm saying when I heard Dr. Miles Monroe talking about when he gave the two different comparisons, my thought immediately went to I could agree with that because I could see money being the purchase of guns, money being the purchase of drugs.
There's no way you can say his love for money is why he did that. That would
I didn't
make
say
any
his
sense.
love for
but
money.
Then that would disqualify what Miles Monroe was saying. Like that kid, if you don't understand, there's an interview we just did last night. We'll play it at some point in the future. And the topic of, what's his name, Dylan Ruth or something like that? Yeah. His evil that he committed had nothing to do with money. So that invalidates this whole thing.
No, but what he's saying is, what did Dr. Miles Monroe say? He said money was even more powerful or more of a problem for your life than the devil. Yeah. I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with it being... Okay, what did I say first? I said I agreed with the idea that money could be more powerful. Yeah, I still agree with it. Because I think... Than the Satan, the antagonist of your entire life. Well, because I feel like Satan is a real enemy, but again... we are more than conquerors in Christ Jesus. So I feel like even though God has already said he's overcome the world, that would mean Satan too. So I mean, I look at it like money as well. It does. But what I'm saying is I've heard people say you give way too much placement to the devil. I've heard pastors say you give way too much placement to the devil. And I do believe we do that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, I could see where Dr. Miles Monroe says we're giving too much placement to the enemy. We're giving him too much power to say that he's, a greater evil than some of the other things around us. Jerry, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Joseph King on this. Satan, he actually says, Satan is the enemy because he puts all of this other stuff in our face to try to get us to put it ahead of God. So money is a tool. It's a tool, but it's just like guns. I mean, all guns aren't evil. I think there's places for guns, but it's you as a person, it's what your heart desires. Which is worse? Which have you witnessed cause more people harm and destruction? Their love for money or their love for sex? Their love for sex, absolutely. Their pursuit of sex versus their pursuit of money. Say it again. I was reading comments. Which one have you seen personally destroy someone's life more? Their love for money or their love for sex? Their love for sex. So that's what I'm saying. It can't be the only other master. Right. I think the Bible was pointing it out because that was what was relevant to this passage. I don't believe he was saying that's the only problem that you're going to have in your life. But I think that people's love for money and their love for sex is a different balance. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different balance. Like I think people can definitely balance, money and what they do with money versus their appetite for sex. So how could money be the only other master besides Satan? Well, because I think when we talk about the love of money, like the love of money is the root of all evil. And so you're thinking about look what Diddy did. Look what Diddy did. All this stuff, all these people he's hurt, all these things that he's done. R. Kelly. Is Diddy's issue his love for money or his love for power? Right. Ooh. So I'm saying there's all kinds of masters that can control your life. That's a hard question. That's a really hard question because you don't necessarily know which one fuels him more. I mean, he's a billionaire. So he's reached the pinnacle of that everybody, nobody's, reached trillionaire status. So. I just mean I can name a lot of evils that we've seen in this world that have nothing to do with money. And the first one we mentioned was Dylan Ruth. That had nothing to do with money. Yeah, but what I'm saying is money is backing all this evil. It is. This is we need some Bible scholar. Please tell me if I don't know if it has to go because let me just say this: the New King James puts all kinds of evil. I know for a fact. Yeah. Other versions say of all evil. Which one is it? What's the question that you're asking? Go through the Greek. Go through all that stuff and tell me which one. Are you asking the question? Is the love of money the root of all evil? Is it the root of all evil or is it the root of all kinds of evil? Okay. Which one is it? Okay. I would say the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil because that's what I'm suggesting. Then he's wrong. Man.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point.
I would have to say I would want to give Dr. Miles Monroe the credit that he's written.
I like
that
his
he's
illustration
read
because
other versions of the Bible.
Here's the point he's making, and this is probably what you've heard before.
Yeah.
Your battle with your own flesh is probably going to be harder than your battle with Satan. A lot of the things that you blame on Satan is really just your own flesh.
Sure.
Satan probably was like, I ain't had nothing to do with that. That was you, boy.
Sure.
That was you, buddy. I didn't even have to help with that one. So I think that's the point he's trying to make, which is valid for most cases. But I still don't think Satan is uninvolved in even your own flesh. The reason you have a flesh that you have to battle with is because he tempted one of your ancestors to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He was involved in that one too.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you have to separate him from any of this stuff.
Now, if you go that far back, then I mean, the evil of Satan existed without money when it came to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But what I'm saying is like when you and this is where I'm coming from. I hope y'all understand this in the chats. When I say like the evil that terrorists are backed with, they're backed with money. They're funded.
There are
through
people who money is their biggest problem.
Yeah.
But is that the only other problem?
No, it's not the only other problem. But what I do, like I'm gonna hold true to what I said. When money supports all these bad things happening, then you got to look at the money as a cause of evil, a use for evil. Maybe I can say that. Maybe it's a use for evil. But yeah, I mean, but I would imagine there's I don't know, man. There's so many different arguments about that because you could say, being a philanthropist and giving money away could also make you prideful in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like look at where Rick Ross and Meek Mill and all those folks are when they're like, I'm giving away turkeys on Thanksgiving and I'm giving away backpacks in the fall. It's like, yeah, that's also making you prideful. You're giving, but you're bragging about it, right?
Yeah.
And Scripture tells us, to do these things in secret. So,
yeah, it's just interesting. When I heard, I was like, is that right? What he just said? I don't know if it's right. I don't know if that's accurate what he said, but it's an interesting point. I don't think, and for all the Bible thumpers and warriors out there, you don't have to get angry because we don't know the answer to this right away. We're trying to figure it out. So if you have an answer, please put it in. I saw that Ray said that Lost and Found had a good answer. What did Lost and Found say? Did you see what Lost and Found said? We'll find it later.